Welcome back, everybody, to your Sunday night Class vs. Crass Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Jason Lapine. Joining me, as always, is RGT85, aka. You can introduce yourself.
Sean? That's weird. That's odd to say.
I always have to introduce myself, and it does feel very weird.
But you're used to it. It's what you do.
Yeah,
it's me.
It's you, Sean. Welcome to the Nintendo Enthusiast Podcast. I think I've already welcomed you guys, but if it's your first time here, this is a 1-hour podcast where we update you on everything Nintendo. You probably already know what all those things are, but we are here to have a conversation with us, with you. We're all going to talk about it. Our big headlines for tonight, if this is your first time joining first, let's get the ground rules in first. I am too excited for some. It's Mario. I'm way too excited for Mario. So the first 10 minutes of the podcast, we go over what we've been playing. That's where Sean and I talk about what we've been playing over the past week, in this case, the past 2 weeks. Then we go over our major headlines tonight. We're going to be talking about NeoGaf burning. Things are not going so well over there. And our other thing is going to be about Mario Odyssey, talking about the hype, as well as the leaks, which are popping up everywhere over the weekend. Lots to talk about there. And then we're going to go over our run of news. Lots of things to talk about. And then we go into the lightning round. That's where we take your user questions, topics, and we have a conversation about it. So, does that sound good?
Yes. It sounds like our normal formula.
It does. It does. What have you been playing?
A bunch of stuff, actually. I picked up Tiny Barbarian DX. I need to play it some more. I haven't played it enough, which is another Nicalis physical release when I was up north. And then I picked up Don't Knock Twice, which was very disappointing. I reviewed that on the site. And I've been playing Cinemora EX, which finally came in on my I've ordered it from Amazon, and like it was delayed forever, but then it finally came in, which is a really good game. I was very surprised with how good that was. And NBA 2K, been playing that. They did an update. You can play with like friends and stuff now online, so that's super good. And it's kind of funny because it's kind of like a big FU to EA, who didn't put friends in they didn't put a friend mode in FIFA, and like they have no intention of putting a friend mode in FIFA. So it's like, you know, 2K is good, EA is bad.
Isn't that the general consensus? Like, hasn't 2K been beating out EA's stuff for years now?
Yes. I mean, in the world of sports, you know, the reason why EA bought the NFL license was because Madden was getting destroyed by 2K football. Like, it was such a better game. And then EA bought that exclusivity. So they were the only ones who could make football games. Because, I mean, it's just like in their basketball games, NBA Live has been, you know, a mess forever. So, you know, it's just how it is, unfortunately. And when you're a giant company like that, you know, they just shut down Visceral Studios, who actually did 2 very awesome Wii games two of my favorite games on the system, Dead Space Extraction and the Godfather Black Hand Edition. So EA's EA.
I was just about to say, you were reminding me about that EA shutdown. That's something else we should probably talk about later tonight if we have time. Doesn't affect Nintendo, the Nintendo community as much, but it's still big gaming news. It's worth talking about. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much all I've been playing.
All right, over in my end, I've been wrapping up Metroid Samus Returns. So I just beat it yesterday. I beat the story mode yesterday. Phenomenal final boss battle. Loved it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it yet. But I haven't played the original, so I guess if you've played the original, it's even better because it's playing with the nostalgia strings. Have you? You've played the original. So
I have.
So what did you think of the final boss without spoiling anything? It
was awesome.
Yeah. So over on my personal channel, I did a top 10 boss fights of all time. If I would be doing that video today, that boss fight would be going on there because it's just so well done. So now I'm going through the game and 100%ing it because now I have all the abilities. I can actually get all of the extra weapons. I think I'm at 70 or 80%, somewhere up there. What else have I been playing? Last week I bought Stardew Valley. I finally took the plunge.
Oh yeah, how's that?
It's funny because when I picked it up, I put in like 5 hours into it without even realizing time was going by. And then I haven't picked it up at all this week because I think I'm like scared that every time I go into the game, I'm just gonna like lose half a day. So you've never played it, right?
No, I haven't.
So someone described it to me as like Harvest Moon, but like done right. I've only played one Harvest Moon like on Game Boy Advance a while back. It's basically a farming game, but there are so many like little side quests. There's always like new side quests popping up. It's so easy to get distracted. There's like fishing games, fetching quests. There's mining, farming, building stuff, fighting monsters. Like there's just so much to do. It's really easy to get lost in the game. Like I'm barely farming. I think I put in 5 to 10 hours, and I've have a little patch in my farm. I've barely done anything.
Yeah, it sounds like a logical progression of like the Harvest Moon formula.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, those are the two main games I've been playing. I don't think the 3DS. I've been really trying to get through the Samus Return so I can start up Mario and Luigi next. But it's not for, as Jonah was saying in the chat, it's not for everybody. Stardew Valley, it's slow. It's a slow game.
Yeah.
Okay, so ready to get into big headlines?
Go on.
I'm probably going to sneeze because I'm fighting a cold. That's a cough.
Yeah, that was me. I have a chest cold.
I have a nose cold. So, yes, I caught wind of this yesterday. I don't know if it happened earlier, but it looks like NeoGaf, one of the biggest gaming forums on the internet, probably one of the, I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's definitely one of the oldest online communities for gamers, seems to be burning. Seems like it's shut down. I think if we even try to access it right now, the site is just completely down.
Yeah, I think it got DDoSed as well.
Probably.
So yeah, it's a good story.
yeah, we're gonna get into the story. So NeoGaf, for anyone who doesn't know, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but NeoGaf has been the source for all those NPD reports for like the past, I don't know how many years, correct?
Correct. And Media Create and all that stuff.
Right. So, I mean, NeoGaf has had some good sources of... Okay, that's about it. It had those two reports. But I think it's had more of a reputation of all of the negative toxicity that came out of that community. So the story behind what happened here is basically the founder was accused of sexual assault. Correct me if I'm wrong in any of this. With the whole hashtag #MeToo campaign that came out, a lot of women came forward and called out the owner and founder of NeoGaf for having sexually assaulted them. And then a bunch of mods quit, and then everybody just kind of went to a mass exodus.
Well, there was like one specific instance where like it was like, I want to say it was an employee of NeoGaf, and like he was just like a douche and like trying to take advantage of her and all sorts of stuff, and it was like a whole big thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the story I heard was he was at least one story. I heard that there's multiple. One was like he was traveling with a female coworker, and he just like jumped in the shower with her without her really wanting that, and who knows what goes on after that. But those are the sorts of stories that are coming out from this. So,
well, supposedly he was accused of something like this in like 2012 as well.
Oh, really? And then it just went under the carpet?
Of course.
So, personally, I don't care. I've tried to get into NeoGaf about 3-4 years ago. And back then, you need a verified email to get in. So, like, you can't get in with a Gmail email or a Hotmail email. So I tried to get in with a NintendoEnthusiast.com email many years ago. And at that time, Nintendo Enthusiast was already banned from the site. So I couldn't even get into NeoGaf. And the reason that Nintendo Enthusiast was banned is the most ridiculous thing. It was, do you remember that Minecraft leak that Nintendo Enthusiast broke? So I think in 2013, if you go into Nintendo Enthusiast's history, you will see that we were the first site to break that Minecraft was coming to the Wii U based on sources we had. Of course, it took 3 years for that to actually happen. So NeoGaf discredited us, saying we were not a worthy site, or whatever reason they came up with, and they banned us. So you couldn't even link anything Nintendo Enthusiast in that form. So that's kind of my experience with them, and from that point on, I just said, okay, screw these guys. they're in their ivory towers, and I don't want to associate with them. So do you have any experience or memories of them?
There was probably like a handful of decent people on there, and then it was all just toxic wannabes and nobodies putting in their 2 cents. It's like, shut up. Who are you? Like I don't understand. I never understood the appeal of NeoGaf, like why people would specifically go there and why people would specifically leak things on there. Like it just seems so weird to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that it is fair? Like, this is a community, and I don't really. I'm surprised. I'm personally surprised at the backlash that because the owner is accused of something, the community would disband from the property.
I'm not, because it has the owner was tied into it. You know, the owner, he owns the site. You know, and it's not like he was a silent owner or anything. Like,
oh, he wasn't. So that's
no.
Oh, okay. So if he was involved in the community, that's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, he was a vocal person that he was the owner. It wasn't like a secret.
Okay, that's different. So where do you think all these people are going to go?
I mean, who cares?
Well, where's going to be the new hangout spot of gaming? Twitter?
I mean, Twitter has taken over that anyways. Like most of the interesting people, the people that were reporting NPD stuff and Media Create stuff, they post on Twitter too. It's just like they'll just post on Twitter or any other, Reddit or anywhere else. It's just like there was no need for NeoGaf. NeoGaf was just its own little weird cult-like thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was. Let's look at a bit of history here. I'm not that familiar. So it was founded 18 years ago, back in 1999.
Yeah, longevity.
Yeah, back then it was called Gaming Age Form. So of course this precedes the social media craze. I'm not going to go through the whole history. It's on Wikipedia if anyone wants to look at it. I might take a read through this later on. I just think it's really interesting. I'm always curious about history. Yeah.
They can rot.
Yeah, they can. It won't be. And it's like if you go on Twitter right now and you search like NeoGaf, there's very, very little good things to say, which surprises me that it even had an audience anymore. Now, at the same time that this is happening, there was another piece of news that's kind of being looped in with NeoGaf, and that's, are you familiar with The Escapists?
Somewhat.
So another pretty big gaming site, and they put out a letter, I think it was yesterday or the day before, very recent, where they're basically saying that that the whole site is also kind of imploding, that they no longer have any paid staff. So I mean, The Escapists used to be like this one of the big sites for anything geek culture, really. I know them more, and a lot of people I think would know them for Yahtzee, the personality who makes shows like Zero Punctuation. Ever watched that?
No.
It's a good show. It's a good show. It's witty. So yeah, that's another one that's making a little bit of news, but NeoGaf is doing better. But I guess if you don't know much about them,
I don't get what's the reason for The Escapist? Just they got too big and then they got small, or like I don't understand that. Like if you're such a big website, how are you having so much trouble?
I don't get how they went from. So I have very little knowledge of their history, but if they're saying that they had paid staff and now they went from some to none, that's extreme. Like, are you telling me that? Because I assume if they have,
it's probably some person at the top taking all the damn money.
It's got to be, because like I'm checking the site right now. They've got to have ads on the site. Like that is one source of revenue. It's the one that we can measure. Anything else we can't really have any insights to. Yeah, there's a lot of ads on here. So they got ads. So if they have traffic, they definitely have revenue. And looking at their stats at a glance, they've got some good traffic. There is no reason that they cannot pay their staff, which really surprises me of what's going on over there. Anyways, so I don't. There's not much discussion there. I don't know if it's the owner. Does anyone know who it's owned by? Probably not.
What's the website URL?
Escapistmagazine.com.
Oh, okay.
It is owned by Defy Media. Oh, that sounds familiar. I'm kind of familiar with those guys.
I mean, they're the 9,000th biggest website in the world.
And Defy Media is a media agency that serves ads. So there's no middleman. Huh. Interesting. So I really don't know what's going on there. That's something in management, I would guess.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just go over the comments over this feature story real quick. GameFAQs, we got Sergeant Crack saying GameFAQs has its own toxic community. Visor Grunt saying Gaff was once the place like G4 who once said Nintendo was going down and wouldn't last the next 10 years. NeoGaf was the most entitled group of arrogance who would ban you if you didn't march lockstep with their far left. I've heard a lot of crazy ban stories on Twitter of people saying like, I said this thing, I got banned. It was the most like innocent stuff.
Oh, on NeoGaf?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Kimmerson saying I completely forgot Escapists even existed, to be honest. Leisha saying, is Evil Lore attractive? Evil Lore being the founder of NeoGaf. He says this is important. I have no idea. I have no idea what
is he attractive?
Is he attractive? I don't know.
He's a millionaire, so
he's attractive in one sense.
Yeah. I'd let him give me a back rub.
Yeah. Elizabeth's saying she can barely hear me. Can you hear me fine, Sean?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Let's turn up the mic a bit. Let me know how that is. Okay. I think that's all I can do. Anyways, let me know if that's better. All right, let's talk about our other major feature, which is Mario Odyssey. Lots of hype. I really just wanted to talk about our excitement tonight, but unfortunately, this game is now, like, the pre-launch is being plagued by an insane amount of leaks. Do you want to cover this, lead us into the intro of this?
I mean, I've avoided every leak.
Good job. That's good. How? Like, I've literally scrolled through my Facebook feed and then just the screen cap.
I unfollow most people on Facebook.
That's smart.
Yeah, I've avoided every leak. I've avoided trailers of it. Nope, you ain't getting to me. Kiss my ass.
So here's a little bit of background, Sean. You wouldn't be in this loop, but when Nintendo enthusiasts got Mario Odyssey as a review copy, so to me it's crazy that there's so much leaking, considering Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga was a huge leak problem a month ago, which Nintendo directly changed their way of sending out review codes because of that. So Mario and Luigi leaked because of a review copy a month ago. People pirated it, and it was actually available online for download before the game was actually sorry, what are you saying? We won't talk
you
about
were saying.
I'm reading you in the chat. Yeah, we're not going to leak anything in this podcast. So Mario and Luigi, leaked online. People were pirating it before launch day. It was a huge problem. So Nintendo actually started reviewing they were tightening the review copies, especially in North America. So much so that Fire Emblem Warriors, I don't think any outlet really got that. We did not get a copy of Fire Emblem Warriors, which released 2 days ago. And I don't think any other major outlet did. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think so, no.
Right. So I heard that Fire Emblem Warriors got skipped because Nintendo was in the process of reviewing their review policy. And then with Mario Odyssey, we got our first contact. So this is how it used to work here at Nintendo Enthusiasts. Nintendo would reach out to us and say, here is the embargo for game X, here is your review code, or sometimes we would even get it in the mail where it was a physical copy. And there was really no two-way conversation. It was like, here's your review game, enjoy, here's the embargo details, please honor it, and all that. In the case of Mario Odyssey, we got reached out to, I think, on Thursday, and they said, here is the embargo for Nintendo, for Mario Odyssey. Do you agree to it? And I replied, yes, read it, agree to it. And then they replied again, you specifically agree to releasing a review between when embargo lifts and when the game launches. And I said, yes, of course. And then they sent me the code like 5 hours later. So they've definitely tightened their security in terms of reviews, and even a lot of outlets that used to get review copies are not getting it now, simply because they're shortlisting who gets review copies. And even with all those precautions, Mario Odyssey still leaked, and someone in the chat was even saying it's being streamed on YouTube right now, which is ridiculous. It's ridiculous because there's, on one hand, if you want to see the leaks, I mean, you know where to go. You know where to go if you want to see the game. On the other hand, there's a ton of people that want to be surprised, that want to enjoy the game, and there are trolls out there which are just taking that fun away from people by posting these leaks like in social media. I'm seeing it on Twitter where people are just going and replying to like big YouTubers known in the Nintendo community with like a screenshot of something really amazing. And that's just really like, that's toxic people. That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So,
and the thing of it is like they should know, like how freaking hard is it to figure out who's the one that's streaming it? Like it's not hard. Just figure out who it is and, you know, send them a cease and desist or something, you know?
well, that's the thing. It's not hard. They even know who leaked the Mario and Luigi game because I guess there's like a custom serial code inside each game code. So they actually know who leaked it.
Oh, wow.
From what I'm hearing. But still, like, so some people are saying that some shops are breaking street date, which is, if it is the case, there's not much you can do about that. That's just another nail in the coffin for brick and mortar shops. Like, if you're not going to listen to the rules, why is anybody going to cooperate with you? And oh yeah, the embargo, even the embargo of Mario Odyssey is super strict. We can't even, the only thing we're allowed to do before the embargo list is we're allowed to say that we have a review copy. We can't even show you guys, like, we can't even hold the game. We can't show a screenshot. We can't show anything other than just saying, hey, we got it. So this is crazy. It's the strictest embargo rules I've ever seen. We even got a letter, like, I don't even know if I can say this, but in a nutshell, we got a letter from the creator of Mario Odyssey, and I'm like every outlet would have gotten this, saying that Mario Odyssey is based on surprises, that there's a ton of surprises that they packed into this game. And so it's just very disappointing that, you know, these people spent several years crafting this amazing game, only for pretty much losers to go out and ruin it for people.
Yeah.
That's my rant. Yeah.
That's a good rant. It wasn't bad.
Not as much emotion as you.
Yeah, I've avoided everything. And if someone spoils something for me, I will bring down the wrath of hell on them.
Bring your entire channel down on them.
I will.
Since it actually has some weight. Don't die on us live. Yeah. Ew.
Okay. It's a spit cup.
So isn't it crazy? Here we are in the fall. We are at the holiday season of the Switch. You remember how we said the Switch had a soft launch in March?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't it crazy that now we're here and it is firing on all cylinders?
Yeah, I actually shot a video earlier called Nintendo is Stealing My Wallet in November. Actually, I don't know if that's the name. I'm still working on that, but I think I calculated $300+ of games I'm buying.
That you're buying or that you've bought?
No, that I'm buying in November. Just November releases.
300 bucks.
Roughly.
Okay. Yeah. So we got Skyrim at 60. We got Doom. That's 120 right there.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting Mario and Rabbids.
I'm talking. I'm only talking November releases. Games coming out in the month of November
for Switch.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what else you would have.
You'll see. You'll see.
Okay.
Tomorrow on RGT85.
So, what are your thoughts on the Switch Switch's holiday lineup?
Too much stuff. I don't even know when the hell I'm going to have time to play all these games.
From a market analyst point of view.
Oh, very strong. You have Mario and Xenoblade from Nintendo. You have a lot of third-party games. You have a lot of indie games. There's something for everyone, no matter what genre you're looking for. So, the strongest out of the three by far. I mean, I think you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think Call of Duty is going to actually somewhat flop.
Really?
a lot of people are not like a lot of people that played that beta said it was doo-doo butter. And like I just have this weird feeling. And I also have a feeling that there will be one of the big out of all the November releases, there's going to be a casualty for the Switch. One of the Switch games is going to have to be a casualty. That's not going to sell well. Because I don't know which one it is. Because there's too much. I don't know which one it's going to be, but there will be a casualty. There has to be. There's too many.
That's a good point. I pulled up this graphic for us to go over. So I don't know if you recall the holiday lineup graphic on the Switch and 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pulling that up, seeing what we got here in November. So for anyone who's not seen this, you can easily find on the internet. It's also on Nintendo Enthusiast if you look up. Honestly, I don't even remember the story. But on the right, you've got the 3DS releases. On the left, you've got the Switch releases. So November, we've got W2K18 probably.
Yep.
We got a new Snipper Clips DLC, Doom, Skyrim, LA Noire, and that's all they have on this. And then you've got
really? Because there's 2 more.
Well, you got Xenoblade on December 1st.
No, there's 3. There's 3 more games in my freaking video.
Okay, well, Rocket League is holidays.
And that right, and I'm talking November. You got Sonic Forces on the 7th.
You're buying that?
I bought it.
Oh wow.
I'll explain why in my video tomorrow.
Because of the Knight's costume.
Go to hell. Resident Evil Revelations Collection Pack is at the end of the month.
Oh, right.
And Rhyme. I'm finally going to.
You've never played Rhyme?
Nope. I've been waiting.
It's a good game. It's a good game. Yes, Rex the Great. I covered Sean's sex phase, but don't worry. I'll leave it up for you to admire in all its glory.
He saw it in person last Saturday.
Did he kiss it?
I think he wanted to, but his girlfriend wouldn't let him.
How was your trip?
It was good. Eye-opening.
This is what made you ponder.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable sharing with the audience what's a little bit on the personal RGT side or no?
Not yet. Okay. Once I make a concrete decision, yes, but I think a concrete decision is probably a month or 2 away. Okay,
because if you need more support, I'm going to call on these 100 viewers to support you because I think you should do it.
I mean, I'm 99% sure going to do it. I just want to look at things the next 2 months and just sort of figure out some things. But I mean, even from a basically save up money standpoint,
like not even logistics. Let's not talk logistics. Can we talk about the career paths?
All right, sure.
I just want the support of our 100 viewers right now, which these aren't even your core viewers, probably.
True.
Should Sean finally make the jump to full-time in gaming? I keep telling him yes, of course. I keep telling him he's found lots of success over the past year and that it can only go better. So please support him. And if you guys actually have a good reason to tell him not to, please let him know as well. But,
Sean gonna make a girl pregnant? No. God, no.
That's what would destroy you. Don't do that.
Yes.
Wear condoms, sir. Is Sean pregnant? Are you?
No, I might have a food baby. I just ate a burger.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yes, Sean, please. Yes. Yes.
I don't know. See, I don't know.
I don't know. Sure. He says sure, though. He says sure. Remember, Sean's got a successful YouTube channel. Plus everything else that he touches in the gaming world. Anyways, so there you go. Let the comments come in. We're going to move on to some news. We got a lot of news. Let's talk about Panic Button. For those of you who don't know, please, 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 if you have a Twitter account, go on Twitter right now, follow Panic Button, and give them a big thank you because this studio is the studio responsible for porting Doom to the Switch. And in a story that broke last week, they said it was actually very difficult. This is one of the
not just Doom, they're also doing Rocket League and Wolfenstein.
Holy shit. Okay, so even more so, they're porting all of these great third-party games, and they're saying that the port to Switch specifically for Doom was difficult. which is something new. You know, a lot of the games that we've heard have been easy to port, but in the case of Doom, it was hard. And they're a little bit bummed because some toxic gamers are going around saying it's not 60 frames per second, therefore it must be... I really love your expression of poo butter. I'm going to be using poo butter a little bit more. It's poo butter if it's not 60 frames per second. So please, go follow Panic Button on Twitter. Tell them thank you for all the work you're doing. You're doing the Lord's work in bringing third parties to Switch. They're really an amazing studio. They're very humble too. I reached out to them. I thanked them. Sean reached out to them, and they replied with a very personal thanks to the both of us. So please, if you appreciate anybody in the gaming industry, go out, Panic Button, follow them on Twitter. It's very easy they're just called that, Panic Button. Say thank you for bringing third-party games to the Switch and all the hard work you do. Anything else you want to add to that conversation?
No, Panic Button's doing good work though. And there's a lot of stuff coming out from them. So
Santiago is saying, is it confirmed that it's Panic Button doing Wolfenstein?
I believe so. Let me see. Let me see if I can.
James says, so Jason, grow a beard like Sean. I can't. I cannot grow a beard. I physically can't. And the mustache that I can do is a very dirty, like 13-year-old mustache. So we're just gonna keep it clean shaved. Rock says they also developed Astro Duel Deluxe for Switch. So this is one of our VIP developers.
Oh, yeah, it's LinkedIn master Doc Trey found the lead software engineer of Panic Button's LinkedIn, and it says presently engaged as lead programmer importing Doom and Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus to Nintendo Switch.
B-Wild is saying they should have put gyro aiming in Doom, didn't they? Thought they did.
No, it's just for the glory kills.
Okay.
I don't know. I think that'd be kind of weird.
For what?
Like, I wouldn't be against gyro controls in Doom, but I don't think it's necessary. I don't know. It would be different, I guess.
I love gyro controls. So yeah, I think it's very important that we celebrate our third-party developers that actually put a lot of work, because we've seen a lot of lazy ports, lazy work being done in the past for third-party games on Nintendo. So I mean, these guys definitely deserve an applause.
Tonight I celebrate my love for you.
Speaking of third-party support and great companies, we've got another one to shout out tonight. That is Limited Run Games, which is another company. These guys are well known for bringing indie games to physical medium on the PS4 and the PS Vita. Sean, these are good friends of yours. I'm going to let you talk about this news story.
So, Limited Run Games is bringing stuff to Nintendo platforms, the Nintendo Switch, which is a big deal. I actually went up there almost probably a year ago to the day almost, and met with them and interviewed them and stuff. And I actually asked them when I was up there, obviously during the Wii U phase, why they only did Sony. And the reason is that Sony had very, very low minimum orders for physical stuff. So you could, you don't have to get, 20, 30, 40,000 copies of a game made. You could do, 5,000. And so it was easy. Nintendo and Microsoft had much higher ones. And so, okay. And then once Retro City Rampage from VBlank became available on physical, and VBlank was the one themselves handling the physical copy of it, I pretty much figured out, and I think a lot of people did, that for the Switch they've decreased that minimum order ratio, because I mean that's how Nicalis is probably making all their games. I'm sure they're not huge runs, so yeah, Limited Run Games, they're starting in 2018 will be their first Switch title. And I'm probably going to drive up there and go see them right around the time they launch the first Switch launch title so that I can maybe buy one from them.
So can we talk about this goes beyond just having exclusive eShop titles in physical forms. This means that you are now selling more of these Switch carts, which will therefore help bring the cost down of these carts, which will therefore help third parties bring their, like if the price of the Switch cards go down, you're going to see third parties jump over to Switch without adding the Switch tax to their games.
Well, and you'll see them use bigger carts as well.
Yes, because now you've got the whole spectrum of carts dropping in price.
Right.
Like,
so you should want as many companies as possible doing physical stuff, and physical media is selling very well on the Switch. Like, I think it's like the best since the NPD was a thing. The Switch's software, physical software, is the best for Nintendo since the NPD was a thing.
That's another story we're going to be talking about soon. It would have been a good segue, but I want to stick on limited runs a little longer. The one thing I'm concerned about with limited runs is they're very well known for, what's the word? People that, why don't I know?
Scalping.
Scalping. On the PS4, the PS Vita, because they make a limited run, as their name states, a lot of scalpers buy up a good chunk of the inventory and then sell it at marked up prices. So a lot of the times it's not easy to get the physical copies unless you like get in real quick in a pre-order stage.
Right.
You think we're going to see the same?
Well, not even a pre-order. You pretty much have to. You pretty much have to like be on the website at 10 a.m. or be on the website at 6 p.m. and hope for the best.
So that's kind of garbage. I really hope that they're going to.
They're trying to. You got to remember, it's literally, aside from the game development side, it's literally two people. It's Doug and Josh.
Right.
When you file a complaint email, when you file anything, any sort of email contact, it goes to Doug.
Right.
Like Doug is PR and human resources and like everything. Like, it's not a huge operation, and they are getting bigger as time is going on, but they don't want to, you don't want to get too big. And then, you know, if the games, you know, if you increase the production of the games, then is it really still limited? And then, you know, would the mystique disappear from these games? It's a delicate balance.
It is, and I definitely respect what they're doing. I completely understand. Like, they have to upfront the cost of producing all of these physical carts, and so they don't want to have surplus for sure.
Exactly.
That's lost money for them. So I mean, they've been doing a very good job, I think, so far in not having that surplus, and they've actually made that name for themselves. That now everything that they print is basically gold, which is great for them. But I just hope it's going to be a little bit more balanced. And it is a fine line, and I know that they're doing the best that they can.
Well, and I mean, and the main thing is that you're not. If you still want to play the game, you could still play the game. I mean, you download the game on the eShop. It's only for physical collectors, which all of a sudden, despite what the gaming industry tells you, all of a sudden it's like becoming a big thing again.
Yeah. So we've got Rax the Great saying, do either of you know if Switch is going to be doing 64 gigabyte carts for the larger games?
They are available, I believe, right?
I think 64 is currently the biggest. But you have to keep in mind that Switch cards are basically SD card technology. And the biggest SD card right now have they reached 1 terabyte yet in terms of the technological limit, or is it at 512?
I'm not sure.
So as the Switch ages, we're only going to see SD cards get bigger, which is very similar to any generation. In fact, I was actually looking at Nintendo 64 games, and I was looking at the Resident Evil game on there with full voice acting, amazing graphics. I was like, how did they fit this on an N64 cart? And I learned that in the later cycle of the N64's lifespan, they actually released, I think, carts that were 512 megabytes or something crazy like that.
Yes.
Yeah. So in a console's lifespan, the memory on the cart will only get better. So like the Switch has been out for 7 months right now, 8 months, whatever. We're only going to see that limit for the cart increase and increase. In 2 years from now, we're probably going to be at 256 or 512 easily.
Yeah.
And then that's exciting. That is super exciting because there is no reason that the Xbox and PlayStation, the next iteration of console, can't go full cart again and just get rid of optical discs. So, I'm really excited for that.
Same.
So Rax, again, back to your question, you're saying I thought 32 was the largest. I'm pretty sure 64 is the largest.
No, he's right. It is 32 right now.
It is 32. However, the price, I think, of an 8 gig is what you're paying for the equivalent of an Xbox One or PlayStation 4 like Blu-ray disc.
Yes.
That's where the price break comes out as even. So if you go higher than 8 gig cart, you have to pay more. You're losing money there. That's why you're seeing the Switch tax on games that are so big, because companies don't want to eat that up.
They're cheap.
They're cheap. They're business savvy. You can slice it different ways. So you mentioned NPD. Our next news story is that the latest NPD report for September has shown the Switch beating out the PS4 and the Xbox One for the 3rd month in a row. Thoughts?
It's gonna be like that the rest of the year.
It is.
As long as they can keep up with supply, which I think they'll be fine.
Now NPD is only Japan, right?
NPD is only North America.
Which one?
I mean, only United States. Excuse me.
Which one's Japan? Media.
Media Create.
Yeah, Media Create. Yeah. So you've got the Nintendo fans praising this clearly. I've been seeing a lot of condescending views from top journalists or top ex-journalists on Twitter saying Switch selling 2 million is garbage because the PS4 sold 1 million in the first 24 hours. Thoughts?
What? Who gives a shit? It's apples to oranges.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Would you rather have $1 million in one day or $200,000 a day for a year? Like, okay, so it sold 1 million in 24 hours. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's great. Good for them.
And let's remember that the PS4 launched at the turn of the new generation. So there was that hype level. It also launched during the holiday season. Whereas the Switch has had a soft launch. Like the Switch's real launch, like the mainstream audience that is picking up a Switch, they're doing so in the next month or two. And we're just going to see those numbers shoot up like crazy. Because now you got Mario. Like you've got a definitive exclusive for the Switch that nobody can argue that is a port or a third party, or is like, even though Breath of the Wild is, I consider it an exclusive, people will say, oh, I get it on my Wii U. Like Odyssey is your definitive Switch game right there.
Agreed. Ooh, excuse me.
Am I boring you, sir?
No, I'm just tired and sick.
All right, let's go over the last few points. We got Pokemon bidding farewell to the 3DS, saying they are done after Ultra Sun and Moon, and that they are moving on to the Switch.
Good.
Good. For
let
sure.
the 3DS let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
I knew you were gonna do that. Predictable, man. But no, I mean it's time to move on from the 3DS. This is a good swan song year. Do your Pokemon. You can have your RPGs that come out in 2018 from third-party companies, but as far as Nintendo is concerned, they need to move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we've got Pokemon heading to the Switch. This is going to be a huge jump for them because you're talking 360. That's the 3DS's resolution, right? 360p or 480?
The 3DS?
Yeah. Do you know by heart?
I don't even think it's 360.
280?
I think it's something like that. Let me say.
Anyways,
no, it's 240. It's
240. You're talking about, wow, so sub SD graphics to full HD graphics. Like this is going to be the equivalent for the Pokemon series as it was for Mario going from the Super Nintendo to the 64. Is that too much of a stretch to say? Like the Zelda and Mario series, when they went from the SNES to the N64, I think that's what we can expect from the Pokemon series going from the 3DS to the Switch.
I think it just depends on. I mean, you would think it in my opinion, it's time to bring it to the next level. You know, get rid of the the same art style that you've been doing, you know, top-down view, more somewhat simplistic graphics. Like, go all out.
Yeah.
Might as well.
I think it's also an opportunity, and I know that Pokemon fans will disagree with me here, but like it's time to really like just try something entirely new with the formula, beyond the top-down view approach, beyond simplistic battle. And I know that would completely destroy what Pokemon is known for, but you know, sometimes it's okay to destroy the rules. That's what they did with Breath of the Wild, and look how that turned out. So I want to see a Pokemon with like new rules written, like new rules written for the new technology, for the new age.
Yes, I think it's time to advance the series.
Yeah. Like Ultra Sun and Moon, I have zero interest in picking that up because it's sure there's a few more Pokemon, there's a few more areas, there's a few more stories, but it's essentially the same.
Yeah, I could care less.
Right.
I want something different. Mm-hmm. I want something unique.
Yeah, it's time to make an open world Pokemon game, as Squirrel Emperor says in the chat.
Yeah, GTA Pokemon.
Kimmerson saying Pokemon Switch game better be a Pokemon Snap sequel or I'm a riot. Kimmerson, you just chill with your Fire Emblem Warriors over there.
I would enjoy that.
I would too. It'd be amazing. I don't think they would waste. I don't think their first release would be a Pokemon Snap though.
Probably not.
And our final topic for tonight is the Switch got its update 4.0 last week. Surprise update, just dropped out of nowhere. It added video capture ability, which I think is currently limited to 30 seconds and is only limited to, I think, 3 or 4 games.
Yes.
Which is garbage. But because it's a surprise release, I wouldn't be surprised if all the other developers kind of go around and just send a patch to all their games to allow that to happen. It shouldn't be too hard to patch. It supports wireless USB headsets, which is amazing, and it is allowing transfers. You can now transfer your save data from one Switch to another. 3 things which are amazing in helping the Switch modernize and being a console that matches modern day technology. Very welcome additions.
I think that they will they'll start, that'll be a big portion of 2018 is rolling out stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Right, because we've still got the online component coming.
Yeah, we still know nothing about it.
Right.
So I think you're going to start seeing that.
And that 30-second limit, everybody, is temporary. They have come out and Nintendo has come out and said that we will be able to do longer video capture times in a future update. So it's coming. So I love that they're just like really like pumping up the Switch with these surprise updates. They're just coming in with no announcement. It's great.
Yeah.
And that like a wireless headset on the Switch is amazing. I don't care for it because I'm always playing it alone. But yeah, it's a little sad. But it's a welcome addition for busy households or people who play in public.
Yeah, I mean, good additions. It's just weird that they didn't even mention the headset thing in their update.
Right? It's like, oh, nobody cares about this. All right. Anything else you want to cover? Those are all my news pieces.
I think that's good.
All right. I leave it to you for the lightning round.
So this is the lightning round where you ask your questions and we answer them. So ask questions and we will answer them.
That's how it works.
Do you think the video capture will be allowed to be uploaded to YouTube? I mean, it only lets you do Facebook and Twitter right now. Maybe. You know how Nintendo is with their video stuff though, so who knows? Okay.
Jake says, I mean, this is shit. It should launch with it, Jason. I agree with you. Sure, the Switch should have launched with it, but if it wasn't ready, like they were way better off launching in March and adding it later. It's not shit. If they didn't prioritize that. So if you're saying they don't deserve praise for it, fine, I agree with you. But it's not shit. I disagree with you there.
Who are you going to marry in Stardew Valley?
I have no idea. I don't even know the characters' names.
Come on, man.
Jonah Daz saying, I think Nintendo might be doing their own wireless headset. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Why is the NE channel dead? Is the Nintendo Everything channel dead? I didn't know that.
I haven't looked at
Sonic,
it in a while.
will Sonic Forces suck? Probably. I honestly feel like it will. So I'm pretty much just at the point where I hope my video review makes me back some of the money that I spent on it.
What's the release date?
November 7th.
Wow.
Do you think Cinemora EX for the Switch is one of the greatest shmups of this year? Yes.
Really?
That game is so good. Like I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it.
Can't believe I haven't talked to you about this. Have you played Platinum's game on the PS4? God, what's it called? What is it called? Nier Automata.
No, I haven't yet.
I've only played level 1, but it has shoot 'em up components with like action components.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. Let me play more of it, but it's already like a strong first impression. You should check it out.
I didn't dodge your question. You asked why Nintendo Everything was a dead channel. I didn't know there were a dead channel. Don't you think Mario should leave Peach? I mean, Princess Peach has cheated on Mario. She's a freaking Mario needs another wife. Which wife should he get? Daisy.
What's the
I mean,
question?
that's
who's the garbage? Who's trash?
Princess Peach.
Why is she trash? Because she likes Bowser?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something going on there.
Mario needs to give up on that. I mean, if she hasn't said yes in 30 years and all she does is put out cake, it's the guy.
Will Nintendo finally make a voice chat for online games, or will it continue to push the Splatoon garbage with the phone? I think the Splatoon garbage with the phone is a failure, and I think they realize that, and that's why they haven't really mentioned it anymore.
Oh, look, Deathbird has a question.
Question, why is the Nintendo Enthusiast channel dead? We haven't gotten any review codes lately.
I saw a Super Nintendo review, SNES Classic review up
Yeah,
a few weeks ago.
SNES Classic
There's
review.
an unboxing, a review. We've got a Mario Odyssey review coming down the pipe.
It's changed. It's just changed. I mean, we moved on to other things. It's evolved. Yeah. I mean, our RGT 85 is somewhat an extension.
Here's the thing. If you subscribe to Nintendo Enthusiasts over the past 3 years for the content Sean and I made, technically you're getting more content now by having the Nintendo Enthusiast channel content, the RGT85 channel, and Hey Joe. More so because of RGT85 was pumping out like a video every 2 days. But like between the two of us, you're getting more content under the new model. You just have to follow 3 channels, which sucks.
Yeah, but I mean, it's okay. What dead series would you like to see be revived for the Switch? Traditional Fantasy Star.
A dead series. You know, actually, I would love to see a new. What was the name of that game on the N64? It was developed by Rare, the one where you Blast Corps. I would love to see a modern Blast Corps.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Is Dark Souls coming to the Switch? Maybe. I think a lot of stuff will be coming to the Switch next year. Do you guys think Fire Emblem was a disappointment? The new one, I haven't played Warriors yet.
I'm hearing a lot of good things about it.
A lot of people seem to be enjoying it. I think Warriors is like a Rabbids game to me that I'll be like, hey mom, here's some Amazon links, buy some stuff. Excluding the Mario or the Animal Crossing app, what other IP do you think Nintendo will make mobile in 2018? That's a good question.
They're not talking about their mobile game anymore.
Yeah, they're really not.
I'm thinking they're stepping away from that.
Which is fine. Like,
Ooh, going up fast here. Hey, JRGT85, would you guys like to see a new Super Wario or and Waluigi 2D platformer rather than another new Super Mario game. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. A new Super Mario, like the new Super Mario series, needs a long sabbatical.
Bring in Wario and Waluigi.
Yeah.
Waluigi's never been in a 2D platform, right?
Well, the thing of it is like Wario games are good. Wario Land 3 on the Virtual Boy was the best Virtual Boy game. Wario Land Shake It on the Wii was a very underrated game.
Mm-hmm.
Any problems you found with NBA 2K18 after I've played it so much? I play it too much. That's probably the only problem, is that I invest way too much time in it, screaming at the television.
Kimmerson saying predictions on what will be the system seller game for Nintendo Switch in 2018.
If they have a Pokemon, it'll be Pokemon.
Or Metroid Prime 4.
I think Metroid Prime 4 is going to have more mass appeal. I think they're going to have like a really good online component to it, and make it like a competitive first-person shooter.
Yeah, it's either Metroid Prime 4.
Well, plus you also don't know what the hell else is coming out. And some people think that that's a bad thing and a sign of gloom and doom. But normal people think that it's just sort of exciting. Like,
yeah. There's two things. There are 2 games announced, Pokemon, Metroid Prime 4, that could be in 2018. And the 2 that are not announced, I think an Animal Crossing Switch or a Smash for Switch would be system sellers that have not been announced yet.
Have we ever gone out doing karaoke? Sort of.
No, we haven't.
Too many games.
You karaoke'd with someone else.
Jeremy, but you were outside. I told you to come inside. Do you think the new Nightmare Creatures
inside? I didn't want to be there.
Okay. Do you think the new Nightmare Creatures will be good?
You Ice Climbers on Switch.
Oh yeah, Sony making Nintendo Switch games. That was in this week. Yeah, I forgot about that. So Sony Music is going to be publishing Nintendo Switch games, and I had so many people on Twitter. It's not Sony.
Were they British?
No, they were just like weird.
It's not Sony.
And I was like, how do you mean it's not? So it's literally Sony Music. Oh, well, that's different. I said, no, it's not. It's all under the same umbrella. Like, you're an idiot. It's Sony. Yes, it is not the people. You're not getting Uncharted 4, more than likely. You know, I'm not going to say there's 0 chance, but there's, 0.0001 chance. But Jesus Christ, it is technically Sony publishing games.
Sir, sorry to cut you.
Get over it.
I gotta do a shout out to Amy Rose Xbox One, who has donated $2 to our efforts into this podcast. Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Much appreciated. $1 for Sean, $1 for me.
Is it possible to play against friends at 2K18? Yes, they just did a patch for that. Ramirez thinks it'll be Doom. Yes, he does. What do you think Retro Studios is working on right now?
Donkey Kong.
I have no idea.
Donkey Kong.
Maybe a 3D Donkey Kong. I would like to see them. I would like to see them try a 3D Donkey Kong and sort of make Donkey Kong more like King Kong.
I think that it's going to be an open world Donkey Kong because that idea sounds ridiculous and only Nintendo could make it work.
But that sounds so good, like a big, vast jungle that you have to explore.
I really think Nintendo is look, they've released 2 open world games this year. Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. Mario Odyssey reviews aren't out, but come on. Everybody knows it's going to get 10 out of 10. Breath of the Wild, 10 out of 10. Like, Nintendo understands that open world games is the genre you go to if you want amazing scores, except for Yoshi and Kirby, because those are 2D platform. So the fact that Retro has been quiet for like literally 5 years now, I'm telling you, Donkey Kong open world is coming.
That would be sick.
With the racing component on it that is also online, and that takes care of your Diddy Kong racing itch.
You heard it here first, folks.
Quote me on that. That's an amazing idea.
That is a really good idea. You sound like the County Crosley singer.
What?
Yeah, 2K18 came out this past week at retail. Funny story. Here's a funny story. I'm sitting there at my grandma's house, like half asleep watching TV last weekend.
How old's your grandmother?
And,
How old's your grandmother?
What?
I'm sorry, just how old is your grandmother?
78.
Wow, very young for a grandmother.
Yeah, she's still up and at him. Grandpa's the same. Yeah, so I was at their house and I'm watching TV, falling asleep, and I see this commercial come on FX, and it's got the little Nintendo Switch thing, and I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? And then it's like a young black dude walking down the street, and I'm like, what game is this? And then I start seeing he's talking to NBA players, and I'm like, And then sure enough, it was a commercial specifically for the physical launch of NBA 2K18 on the Switch, promoting it as being able to play the game and the career mode anywhere you go. And I was like, am I half asleep? Is this a dream? A third-party Nintendo Switch game has its own dedicated commercial. And then sure enough, when the NBA season started up this past week, people were like, dude, here's the commercial. They showed it during on TNT. And I was like, it wasn't crazy.
Why am I typing this? Kahuna Cliver, Xenoblade Chronicle or Xenoblade 2 is going to appeal to the RPG audience and maybe like 10% outside of that. I don't see Xenoblade 2 appealing to the mass market the way that Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey does.
Homada asks if you could choose one system to live with forever and ever, what console would it be? Probably the Sega Saturn. Really?
I would pick the Switch.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about right this second, I would go with the Saturn. Has Axiom Verge Physical been delayed till 2018? I hope not, because I have that ordered. Will you guys be picking up LA Noire for the Switch? I feel like this amazing game will be buried by Doom and Skyrim in November. It could end up being the casualty. We were talking about earlier that there probably will be one game will be a casualty, but I will be buying it because I never finished it on the PS3. And it seems like a game that I would enjoy playing anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I never finished it. I played it on the PS3, but I never finished it. And I still have it. But I don't... It wasn't good enough. Like, I wouldn't pay 60 to 80 bucks on the Switch for it again. But I would pick it up for like 30.
It's only 50.
But in Canada, it's going to be like 500.
Oh, yeah. You live in that third world country. Mm-hmm. I did not get Fire Emblem Warriors. That's a mom Christmas gift.
I want it. As someone who was like literally addicted to Hyrule Warriors, people are saying it is better than Hyrule Warriors, and I'm really falling in love with the fighting series. Like I'm playing Berserk, or I played Berserk on the PS4, which is also in that style. So Fire Emblem Warriors is on the to get list.
Did LA Noire get remastered as a port? It's a remaster. They're remastering the PS4 and Xbox One, and I believe what they're doing is they're sort of downscaling that remaster, but adding in motion controls and stuff for the Switch release.
Yeah, like a new release game in Canada, as RPG Man is saying here, it's after tax, you're looking at $90 for a new game.
Third world country. How much is the chance of GTA 5 to be released on the Switch? How much can I say?
What do you know? What do you know? What do you know?
I know some things.
You don't have contacts at Rockstar.
You don't know who I have contacts with, sir. I would say very good chance.
Wow. Look at you. You and your little birdies. You're such a little finger.
Because and a game, see, that's the thing. That's the thing I don't think a lot of people realize about games like Doom, about games like LA Noire, about games like Skyrim. You are not seeing a sequel to these games anytime soon. So the fact that they're just now coming out on the Switch, it's not a big deal. And if GTA 5 and if Fallout 4 come to the Nintendo Switch, it's not like those games are going to be severely dated because A, it'll have DLC. 2, you're so far away from sequels from that. Mm-hmm. If they come.
Right.
In 2018.
Okay.
I actually completed that series. I had someone message me.
What series?
The NES series of NES classic games for the Game Boy Advance. One of my Patreons actually found that he had the one game I was missing.
Huh, how many are there in that collection?
Only 12.
Oh,
don't be surprised if you see GTA and Fallout 4.
Amy Rose asking, how long before you think it will be before the Switch will get a hardware refresh that will cover the current missing features?
I say towards the beginning of the year. You'll see stuff. I assume you mean stuff like Netflix, online browser, and whatchamacallit.
But you think you're going to get an out-of-the-box Switch? I think she's talking about like how the 3D or how the 3DS.
Oh, a hardware refresh. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. 2019 would be the soonest.
Easily, yeah. I think so too.
It's selling too well right now.
Yeah.
Once the sales start to dip, then they'll do something.
Yeah, then you bump it up.
I'm buying a Switch with Odyssey next week. What would be the #1 game you'd recommend to a newcomer of the system?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, probably Breath of the Wild.
What about an exclusive?
Or
just a really good game that lends itself to the.
I wouldn't. You know what? I would say get a bunch of smaller games.
Any recommendations specifically?
Get like Blaster Master.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, there's so many games that are like in that $10 to $30 range that are actually very good.
Oh, dude, this one's free. Get Octopath Traveler. It's a demo, but it's 2-3 hours of your time, and it's going to be a great experience.
Do you think Sonic Forces will still sell on the Switch despite it being $720-$30? Yeah,
And has been Heroes too.
It's it's a Sonic game on a Nintendo platform. Do you think other consoles will do the same thing like the Switch, making it hybrid, or do you think that's too much of a risk? I think it's too much of a risk for others. I don't think, because you already have the hybrid out there. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you get into an arms war with Nintendo on a handheld, it does not work out with in your favor. Any Blizzard games coming to the Switch? You would think so. You would think so.
Hearthstone would be very welcome.
Remember the indie shovelware cheap titles on the Wii U? Do you think we'll see them on the Switch? Probably not. They've obviously, it's been harder for some developers that were making those, crappy systems crappy games to make them to get, stuff.
And please keep them away, Nintendo. As someone who ran an indie show, thank you, Leo Aguilar, on your, do you think yes or no? We're going to get to your question in a minute, but thank you for the $2 shout out. I had an indie corner. I had an indie show for the Wii U and the 3DS for like 2 years. And I can tell you that the flood of garbage games, of shovelware, ruined me and that show. Like, I have really no interest in doing it anymore because there was so much garbage. So please, Nintendo, don't let those people come back onto the Switch, because there was so much garbage that it diluted the quality of the eShop.
What about a dock with upscale power? Eddie, it would be the other way around. The dock has nothing in it, but you can upscale the actual, or you can make a Switch unit that's stronger, and then, you make 2 models of it. If you already have a dock or something like that, you just buy the upgraded thing, you throw it in your dock, no big deal.
Okay, let's answer Leo's question here. Do you think Super Mario Odyssey will score higher than Breath of the Wild?
Yes.
How do you score higher than 10 out of 10?
I think he's talking about like meta. So let's see what the meta is. It's probably about a 98, I would assume, somewhere around there.
What is it?
Okay, I hit search.
You are bad at this. It is 97%.
97? I could see it being a 98.
I think so. Mario tends to sell better than Zelda, as Sean pointed out on an old class vs. Crass. And Mario Odyssey is the pinnacle of Mario game from what I'm seeing, from what I'm hearing. I would not be surprised to see Mario Odyssey be scored higher than Breath of the Wild.
I could see it being a 98.
What is the highest scoring game on Metacritic ever?
Ocarina.
Is it?
99.
Wow. Wow. Best video games of all time on Metacritic. Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, N64, 99. Followed by Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the PlayStation. Was that game any good?
Yes.
Really? That good?
I can live with that. I can live with that. I could live with that.
I'm surprised Soul Calibur is the fourth one.
On the Dreamcast, I could live with that.
Really? That good?
Yeah. Dude, that game was another level. Because that was the first, like, that was the first fighting game that really just did something pretty different and looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I could live with that.
So what's interesting is the highest scoring Mario game ever is Mario Galaxy on the Wii for 97. So I absolutely, if I was, okay, I'm going to place a bet. If I was a betting man, I would bet that Mario Odyssey has to beat Mario Galaxy. So it's going to be a 98 or a 99 easily.
I think 98.
Mm-hmm. It has to beat Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy 2 tied Mario Galaxy 1.
Do you know I've never played Galaxy 2?
As long as I think the first one was better, honestly.
That's what I played. I played the shit out of the first one, but I never played 2.
I mean, 2 is more of the same. It's good. It's great, but it's more of the same. Interestingly, Breath of the Wild got 96, whereas Breath of the Wild on the Switch got 97. BioShock with the 96. I have BioShock on the PS3 that I need to try out.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
I didn't like it.
I heard it's genre like defining. I heard to start with BioShock 2 though.
I didn't like the story.
Really? Okay, let's take a final round of questions. We are 50 minutes over, but it's been such a great show tonight. I have no problem going over a little bit. Jono saying Mario Odyssey will be game of the year. Highest scoring 3D Mario is 96. Yep. Mario Odyssey could easily surpass that. Absolutely. Tony saying it's going to be a 98. Agree. What's your least favorite Nintendo game ever made?
Animal Crossing.
Festival?
Yeah, Amiibo Festival.
Good choice. I have to agree with you on that. Tony, Soul Calibur was the first game I've ever bought when I had the Dreamcast. RPG saying, even if Metacritic is higher, I believe Breath of the Wild will be the game of the year. I think so too, because it has more like gamer appeal, whereas Mario Odyssey has more mass audience appeal. That makes sense.
Yes.
Leaf Stormblaze saying, honestly, I don't get how Ocarina of Time is the highest when it has so little reviews. Breath of the Wild has way more 10 out of 10s. Different times.
Yeah, pretty much.
Twin World saying, with Switch firmware 4.0 allowing Switch game pre-orders, I wonder if Mario Odyssey can be pre-ordered directly off the eShop. I don't know.
Yeah, they did. They started doing preloads now, but I don't know when that's gonna, what the first game to utilize that is gonna be.
Amy Rose, Xbox One. By the way, Amy Rose, are you getting an Xbox One X? Really curious about that. Says, I imported Dreamcast just to get Soul Calibur early. Wow. Was there like a lot of hype around that time? I wasn't really into the whole cycle at that time.
Yeah, Soul Calibur was next level stuff.
I got into Soul Calibur 2 on the PS2, which was amazing. James Yoder saying, will Paper Mario come to the Switch? I think so. I think we're going to see it at the end of the lifespan. Paper Mario usually shows up near the end. You saw that on the Wii, on the Wii U. Makes sense. Hamoda saying would be good for Nintendo to add a classic game section where they release all the classic Nintendo games like Zelda, Link to the Past, and stuff like that. What you're suggesting is a virtual console. I think we're going to get that in some form.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time.
Cricket says, do you guys think there will be a sequel to Odyssey or Breath of the Wild in the Switch's lifespan?
I think you'll see another Zelda towards the end.
I think the DLC, the fact that we're not hearing a lot about it, shows that I think they're pumping a lot of stuff into this second DLC pack because we still don't have a release date, and it's end of October.
That's true.
So will there be a sequel? Breath of the Wild more so. Odyssey, I think it sounds like they're pumping a lot of gameplay into that. Mohammed says, what Nintendo franchises or games do you think are overrated? At this point, I think Smash Brothers is getting a little overrated. It's a great game, but it's being treated crazy by the audience.
Yeah, that's a fair one. I would say that'd probably be my pick too.
Smash, yeah. Tony's saying Bayonetta 2 was a 91 and in my honest opinion one of the best on Wii U. I still haven't beaten Bayonetta 2. Beat Bayonetta 1, not 2 though.
Really?
Yeah, surprisingly. Joy-Con Thomas says, do you think the console after Switch will be a hybrid too? Absolutely.
Yes, I think what you're seeing is the future of the of Nintendo.
It just doesn't make sense to me to go back to strictly console after you've introduced the Switch. It doesn't make sense. Amy Rose Xbox One says yes to my question of Xbox One X, I assume. Dead E for Sean, do you think we are going to get Battle Royale Fortnite?
On the Switch?
I assume so.
I think there's a good chance.
Okay, I know I'm missing a lot of questions, guys. You guys are coming in hot with a lot of stuff. Actually, I might be picking them up. Tony, Xbox One X, the most powerful gaming system. It's true. What do you want? It's true. No denying that. Kahuna Cliver. Oh, what do you think Alice is going to show tomorrow? Probably an RPG. That's what they do.
Yes, that's what they do.
Mm-hmm. Do you think we will see another Zelda game on Switch? And if so, what will it be? Asks D Trems.
I think so.
Elaborate. What do you think it will be?
More of what you saw with Breath of the Wild.
The open sea or the sky. Or, I don't know. Space. Link goes to space.
That would be cool.
It'd be different for sure.
And by cool, I mean that would be absolutely terrible. Space is where franchises go to die.
Leo says, I think Ocarina of Time was reviewed when video games were kind of young. Absolutely. Video games were... The industry was only around for about 10 years at best at that time. Visor Grunt has advice for all of you. Order Mario from Best Buy and get a $10 coupon. So if you're in the... I assume that's the USA. There's a tip for you guys. RP Space G says Virtual Console is so needed. I disagree with you. I think we've had enough Virtual Console over the Wii and the Wii U period that if you really wanted to play an old game, you've done so. Like, come on, let's be real. Sergeant Crack says Paper Mario came out pretty early in the Wii life cycle. You might be right. I'm not actually sure what year it came out. You got Mohammed Alavi saying he pre-ordered the Xbox One X. So there you go, Sean. There is one of your people that you don't understand. He says
Mohammed. I've seen Mohammed in here. He likes Xbox, so that doesn't surprise me.
Okay, all the power to you. I mean, I am happy to see people on the other enjoy the other consoles as much as Nintendo. Leafstorm Blaze again with a question. Do you think Nintendo should make old collections of NES, SNES, and N64 games, etc. on Switch and release them on card instead of having a virtual console?
Yes, that's what I've been saying for a while.
I agree with Sean. Bring us cart-based virtual console packages. Absolutely. Jono asks RGT85 and Hey Jay, if you had to pick out of the Zelda or Mario franchises, which one would you pick to keep? And the unpicked one is lost forever from gaming history. Whew, that's a tough one.
What was the question?
If you had to pick between the Zelda franchise or the Mario franchise, which would you pick? And the one that you pick, the other one gets wiped out of gaming history.
Zelda.
Why?
There's more to do.
That's true. I would pick Mario because it had such an impact on gaming history that if you took that out, gaming would not be the way that we know it today. You would not have 2D side scrollers. You would not have Jumpman. Like, you wouldn't have platformers in the same way that we understand them today.
You still have Jumpman. Jumpman was Michael Jordan.
Okay. Final question from Tony. Do you think Activision won't be supporting Nintendo after the success of the Switch selling over 6 million units?
No, they're kicking themselves in the ass right now, wishing that they made games.
But they gave us Skylanders.
Okay.
B. Wild asked, will Mario Odyssey have a DLC pack? I think it'd be stupid if they didn't. Your thoughts?
My cousin just sent me a picture of her watching the show. Show. What was the question?
Do you think will Mario Odyssey have a DLC pack?
No.
Really? Why not?
It's not very Mario-esque. You know?
It's not. I think we're going to see it, though, in 6 months. Maybe even 3 months. We're going to see something. I like the fact that they haven't announced anything. Like Zelda, they announced the DLC pack 1 month before release. That was a big no-no. This is good. If they announce it like 3 months later, I'm good with that. Will there be a... okay, so John was also asking the same question. Amy Rose, Xbox One, says, despite my name, I love and own most consoles past and present, from Pong to current. That's absolutely understandable. Kimmerson, oh shit, I am so behind on questions. Okay, we're going to have to zoom by this. When do you expect the next Nintendo Direct? Is it January 2018? I think so. Sean?
Yes. Maybe even December.
Really? Tendo says, or Leo says, F-Zero 2018 or 2019? I think F-Zero is dead, man. Just make your peace with it. RP / or Space G Mario, I don't want any DLC on this game. It has to be complete at launch. F that. Sure. Have Nintendo given up on traditional consoles? I don't think so, Arfin. I think you're seeing an evolved console concept here. A lot of people asking about the DLC on Super Mario Odyssey. Very, very good.
I don't think there will be.
Now that Nintendo Switch has made a huge success, how do you think Nintendo's upcoming consoles will do? And do you think they will have the same concept as the Switch? Sean?
I'm sorry, what?
Now that the Nintendo Switch has made a huge success, how do you think Nintendo's upcoming consoles will do it? Do you think they will have the same concept as the Switch?
Yes, I think the hybrid solution that Nintendo is doing is what you will end up seeing them do from now on.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree with you. I like the fact that they can make a home console work with a handheld. I don't see it going back. It's all going to depend on the trend of technology going forward. Skyward Sword HD, the next game, I think. Yeah, you're probably going to see that on the Switch sooner or later. Cricket asks, are you guys excited for No More Heroes 3?
Yes.
Great.
That's how you do it. Jesus Christ.
What are you talking about? Daniel says, can I get a new Castlevania Switch? Please, Nintendo enthusiasts.
Hopefully.
I would love to. It'd be my entry point into the series. I would love it, seriously. I've been wanting to get into Castlevania.
I hate this website.
Which one?
What do you think?
Which, Detoid?
Yes. I'm trying to put a picture in. Why is this so freaking
By the
hard?
way, everybody, a little congratulations here. Sean is now putting up retro articles on Destructoid.com. Welcome to the Destructoid family, Sean. So
I'm trying,
he's trying.
Jesus.
So if you want to catch some of Sean's retro knowledge, head over to Destructoid.com. I know it's an old site. It's really old. For anyone who doesn't know, Enthusiast Gaming acquired Destructoid back in June, so we basically own Destructoid now. A new Contra would be amazing, says Sergeant Crack. I agree. Emmy Max says, I'm late. What happened? Emmy watched the past hour and a half. Okay, let's get the last 5 questions in by the time... let's look at last 3 questions. Do you think that Nintendo will decide to end our YouTube channel? Absolutely not. They'd be stupid to do that.
They would be.
Guys, I want to set the record straight.
He's setting it straight.
I'm setting it straight.
It's not the alcohol talking. This is all him.
I have spoken with people who have been in the gaming industry for 10 plus years, and they're like, oh, you can't monetize Nintendo content. And I was like, dude, because it was a man. Nintendo Enthusiasts has monetized its channel for 3 years now. And they have made respectable amount of income through Nintendo only content. So this concept that you can't make money talking about Nintendo is completely false. And I just want to set that record straight that you can absolutely do Nintendo content. And yeah, they have more archaic rules in place to, they take a bigger cut of revenue, but you can still make a respectable amount of income doing Nintendo coverage. And I wanted to just do a shout out to OJ, Player Essence over there, because he only does Nintendo content, and that guy is, he's working full-time, only doing YouTube videos, and all his revenue is YouTube focused, and it's all Nintendo stuff. And the guy's making a living. And he has a daughter. It's not true? It's not true? Oh.
He has a day job.
He has a day job.
He has a day job, but he can work out of home at it. Okay. So that's how he's able to do so many.
Okay, forget everything I said. He still makes money off Nintendo videos. So,
I mean, you could say that about Spawnwave. Spawnwave does mostly Nintendo videos.
So, I mean, the rules are different, but you just got to play the game a bit differently. That's all. Okay, where are we at? Will we get a surprise trailer from Reggie at the awards show like last year, asks Arfin. I think the Game Awards needs to raise its reputation before it gets Nintendo exclusive content again. Thoughts, Sean?
I agree with you. It's got a little ways to go.
Wouldn't Nintendo Switch lose sales if they released an app where you could stream games? How so? How so?
No, because you'd have to pay for the app.
Yeah, I don't think so. Awesome Gamer 2.5 says, "What do you think of THR?" I don't know what THR is.
It's THQ evolved.
Oh.
Okay, it's 9:30, sir.
Okay. Last question then. Do you think a 2D Mario and Mario Kart 9 will be on Switch?
Mario Kart 9, yes. A 2D Mario, maybe.
Okay. All right. All right, that's all we're going to do for tonight. It's 9:30. We're a half hour past the show. I'm probably too drunk to take more questions, and Sean wants to go have a smoke and probably take a poop. So we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This has been Clash with Crass and Nintendo Enthusiast, your Sunday night Nintendo Enthusiast, your Nintendo podcast. I'm your host, Hey Jay. Joining me, RGT85. Man, what is coming out this week? What do you want to let people know about?
I don't know. I have some Switch accessories that I need to review. I'm doing a video. I did a video for tomorrow talking about how Nintendo is stealing my wallet in November. I want to review this. The Legend of Zelda in Super Mario Brothers World.
That looks terrible.
No, it looks terribly interesting. I just want to see what it's about. It looks really cool. And I like weird stuff like this. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I'll have an article up on Destructoid at some point this week. That's kind of what I've been working on, just putting the finishing touches on that. Send it off. Of course, there'll be stuff on Nintendo Enthusiasts website from me. Yeah, sky's the limit.
All right. Here on Nintendo Enthusiasts, you can expect a video review of Mario Odyssey. As always, you should check out NintendoEnthusiast.com for all of your Nintendo news and features. We've also got sister sites and PlayStation Enthusiasts, XboxEnthusiast.com, which you should definitely check out. Also, my personal channel, Hey Jay, if you want more opinions of myself. I should have a video of my impressions of Metroid or Samus Returns. And also, I will be releasing the Nintendo 64's 64 best games very soon as I can edit that together.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got the list. Everything's done.
There's only, what, 212 in the whole library? Something like that?
Yeah, 200 to 300. But I've managed to find 64 games that are worth playing. So, yes, we will definitely try to keep this weekly. Last week, Sean was away out of town on a trip. Anything else that we need to talk about? No! Next week, we're going to have Mario Odyssey. So, we'll see you guys next week. Until then, keep it classy, or as Sean would say.
Keep it crassy.
See you guys next week. You guys sing us?
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside.
Oh, man, you sang that already. Can't you sing the Billy Joel song again?
Play us a song, you're the penis man. Play us a song tonight. On the move a melody.
And you got us feeling alright.
That's such a white people karaoke song.
It was my first drunk song. A real white people song, karaoke song, is Bon Jovi.
Yeah, Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer.
God.
Oh, we're halfway there. Wow, living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it. Oh man, I'm so white.